This strategy right here has improved my show-up rate by around 50%, okay? It was at around 30%, now it's gone up to around 70-80%. And this is the 3-step strategy which I've used. It's really simple, pretty easy to implement as well. This video is not going to be long. If you can't watch to the end, then quite frankly, there's no point you even doing anything to do with an agency because you won't go anywhere. So just wait till the end, watch the whole video, make some notes. It's going to be pure value. Let's get straight into it. So the first thing you have to do as soon as you book a meeting, whether that's through ads, whether that's through cold email, cold DM, cold calls, however you book in the meeting, what you need to do, you need to send a confirmation. Now, if you've got Calendly, it automatically does it through Calendly. However, I would definitely get Calendly Pro if you've not got the premium version, just so you're able to customize the email and the text which goes out as soon as you book it. And you can add a few more follow-up reminders, which I'm going to talk about later. That's not the only thing you should do though. Depending on your niche, what I would do is send a WhatsApp message. Okay, it's really simple to do. Just I've got like a template. It says hi name. It's your name from the business. Looking forward to our call whenever it is. Do you want me to resend the Zoom link here, for example? Okay, it starts a little bit of a conversation. It just gets your foot in the door. It's really simple to do. It takes about not even 30 seconds to do, and it just starts a conversation like that. They'll reply. You can send over the Zoom link. And what you can do there, you can also send over some more value. This is definitely really important. Show as much value before the call as possible. Okay, you need to be tracking time to value, even before the client actually signs with you. Okay, a lot of people, track time to value or time to get results. Want to sign the client, and that is really good. You should definitely do that. I think you should also do time to value from once you've had the first touch point with the client. Okay, even when you're on wherever, let's say the cold call, for example, even on the ad, you need to show value. Okay, maybe on the ad you've got like a lead magnet which is going to give them value. You need to just constantly give value nowadays because there's so many people in the market and you need a way to differentiate yourself. So as soon as you book the meeting, just show some value. Maybe send them your personal brand if you've got a personal brand, which will obviously have value on it as well. That is really important. To give value. Once you've given value, they'll want to give something back to you, and it starts with showing up to the call at the scheduled time. So it all starts from the very first touch point with them, and you should definitely be doing something like that. Next, on to reminders. So once you book the meeting, let's say you booked it 2 days in advance, a lot of things might go on in the time between you've booked it and the call scheduled for the prospect. Okay, maybe something happens in their personal life, maybe something happens in their business. You need to be keeping the meeting top of mind or very close to top of mind, so they remember to show up to the call, because some people might not put it into their calendar. Through Calendly it should automatically go into their calendar, but some people might not still. So you just need to be keeping it top of mind, making sure that they're excited for the call. Okay, show obviously with the value. Okay, for example, they're seeing all of the value which you're showing them before the call. They'll be thinking to themselves, right, how much value are they going to give me on the call, and how much value are they going to give me once I've actually signed them as a client. They're more likely to show up. It creates a bit of urgency and a bit of desire as well. So you need to be constantly following up with them. You can follow up with value as well. Give some tips about how you're going to help them. Hinting towards some more value which they're going to see on the call. Even just sending the personal brand, like I said before. If you've got some good content on your personal brand, maybe just send your Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, for example. In their own time, if they want to look through the videos. And not only does that provide value to them, but also provides trust. Okay, if you are seen as an authoritative figure in the space, you've got followers, you've got views, most importantly, you've got videos out there, you're willing to show yourself, it shows that, you're trusted. And there's less chance of you, scamming them, for example, because you've got an authoritative brand behind you. And to follow up with these guys, I'd recommend using WhatsApp and giving them a phone call. Phone call is probably the best way to do it. If you can catch them at a good time, just say, it's Albie here, I'm just confirming you're still okay for the call, and then maybe just give them something else as well, maybe some value on top of that as well. But just make sure to remind them and confirm that they're still available. But then it comes, what if they're not available? What if they say, oh mate, something's come up, I'm going to have to cancel it. Can we cancel the call? What do you do then? Well, you need to just reschedule immediately, okay? And you also need to pose it in a way, and this also comes before you book the actual call initially. You need to show that, you know, you're doing them a favour by booking them in. Okay, your calendar is tight. You might be able to squeeze them in here. You need to just be having that mentality, because then they're much less likely to cancel on you. You know, you've shown them value. They want to give back to you. You've shown them that, you know, you're worth a lot to them. They're worth a lot to you, because, you know, you've managed to squeeze them into your hectic calendar. Okay, if you've got really an open calendar when they can book whenever they want, they're more likely to go, oh, you know, this guy, he's got about, you know, he's got loads of free time. I can just reschedule it for next week, for example. You can't be doing that. You need to be having a strict calendar. You know, I can only take the meeting here or there, which is best for you. They'll make time for you, and then they're more likely to show up to your call. Okay, so once they've cancelled, you need to say, right, okay, let me just check my calendar. I'm free tomorrow at 3. Okay, I can probably squeeze you in about then, but I mean, any other time that will be quite difficult. And then they say, yeah, 3 will do. 3 will do. Okay, well, you know, I need you to be 100% sure that you will be able to show up to that, because you know, you can make up an excuse. For example, let's say, you know, I'm gonna have to move this a meeting with my client, for example, just because, you know, I'm 100% sure that we'll be able to do this thing, that we'll be able to deliver amazing results for you, and I'm obviously committed to getting on the call to show you how we're going to do it. Something like that. Okay, you need to make urgency, you need to make it so they're actually interested in what you're doing, showing the value, they want to give back to you. But, you know, in the worst case scenario, when they don't want to reschedule, maybe they've had a look at maybe your website, had a look at your brand, you're like, I'm not too sure this is for me. You need to be asking them why. Okay, why is it not for you? I understand, but, you know, you said you're interested. What's changed between now and then? You need to just get feedback, okay? And if, you know, they have just changed their mind, they're like, I just don't think this is for me. You know, I was rushed into the decision before. Then at least just get like an exit form feedback, okay? You know, why isn't this for you? What could we do differently? And, you know, not in a pushy way to get them to try and rebook a meeting, but just for the future with feedback. So yeah, that is literally all I've done, okay, to increase my short rate by around 50%. Okay, the worst thing you can do is book a meeting and then not talk to them until the day of which it's scheduled. You need to be constantly in touch with them, keeping it top of mind. Now, that is literally all I've done to increase my short rate by around 50%. Before, it was honestly horrendous. I was booking calls, and to be honest, I ended up not even showing up because I knew that they wouldn't be able to show up. And then I made some changes and got it up to around 70%. So most of my calls now do show up. And I think that's definitely the change which you need to make. It's an easy change to make, and it can end in, you know, thousands of pounds in increased revenue every month. So it's a no-brainer, really. Hope you've made some notes of this video. As I got into the video quite quick at the start, I think it's only fair to explain a little bit about myself. So my name's Albie, I'm an agency owner, 17 years old, based in Manchester, UK. Now, I don't really upload on YouTube that much. However, if you want to, you know, keep up to date with some more value, which I'm providing, have a look at some of my cold calls, which I'm doing, some day in the lives as well. That's on my Instagram and TikTok page. My Instagram is @Albie Scarborough. It'll be in the description down below. And then the TikTok is Albie_S, I'm pretty sure. I don't really use TikTok that much. Instagram is my main platform. So yeah, go and drop me a follow on there. If you own an agency yourself, own a business maybe, just drop me a DM. I'd love to hear a little bit more about what you do. And then, you never know, I might be able to help you in the future. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Speak soon. Bye-bye.